Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, where we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. Subscribe to the channel for more sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Now, again, week 3 in college football is starting up, and I got another preview and prediction for you guys. Oklahoma at Nebraska. This game, you got Brent Venables. He's the new Oklahoma head coach taking over for Lincoln Riley, and it's very interesting to watch Oklahoma kind of be a different football team than we're used to. They were always the offensive team. They couldn't defend, but they could put up 50 or 60 points. Now Brent Venables is trying to shift that. He's more of a defensive-minded coach, obviously, since he was the defensive coordinator at Clemson. And he's done that. I mean, Oklahoma is stopping people. Their offense is still good, but it's not as good as it was before, obviously, with Lincoln Riley taking a lot of his great players with him. And Brent Venables is instilling more of a defensive-minded philosophy at Oklahoma. Dylan Gabriel, he did bring over at quarterback from the transfer portal in UCF. Dylan Gabriel, he might not be like a top 5 quarterback in college football, but he was very good at UCF, and I think he will do really good at Oklahoma. He's been pretty good in their first 2 games, but Oklahoma has not had tough competition. They've blown out Kent State and UTEP, so we do not know how good Oklahoma really is yet until now they're playing at Nebraska. Running back Eric Gray is a transfer from Tennessee. He's a good running back. Oklahoma's trying to run the football more. He's had pretty good numbers, but again, against poor competition, so we don't really know how good Oklahoma's running game really is. Wide receiver Marvin Mims, he's probably going to be an NFL talent in the future. He's a good wide receiver. And on the defensive side of the ball, defensive backs Billy Bowman, linebackers Danny Strutzman, and defensive lineman Isaiah Coe. He's a big guy, and the defensive line are all very, very solid defensive players for Oklahoma. Now on the Nebraska side, this is where things get interesting. Scott Frost is gone at head coach, and their interim coach is now Mickey Joseph, who was a assistant coach for Nebraska this past season. He's been at a lot of other schools, including LSU in the past. Mickey Joseph, obviously, we don't know anything about his head coaching philosophy because he's never been a head coach before. We don't know what he's going to bring to the table at Nebraska. We don't know how good he's going to be, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Nebraska looks on the field. All I know is if Scott Frost was coaching this game, Nebraska would lose by 7 or less, or one-score game at least, because that's what they always do, and that's why Scott Frost and all are the head coach. They could not get over the hump. They would always barely lose, no matter what. It was always, no matter if they're playing Ohio State or they were playing a bad team, it was always losing by 3 or 7 or something like that. And it's just crazy. They just couldn't get over the hump. And that Georgia Southern loss last week was just inexcusable, losing by 3 to them. That was the last straw. They couldn't stop Georgia Southern and Nebraska's offense. I mean, they scored 42, but giving up 45 points, it was just pathetic. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Mickey Joseph, again, brings to the table. Casey Thompson, a quarterback, he played good last week. He threw for over 300 yards. Again, it was against Georgia Southern, but he was good at Texas. I mean, he just could not keep the starting job at Texas when Quinn Ewers came. And he had problems keeping the job last year, but he is a solid quarterback. He is mistake prone a little bit at times, maybe not as bad as Adrian Martinez, their former quarterback, who's now at Kansas State. But Casey Thompson can get the job done, and he can win at Nebraska. Anthony Grant at running back, he's a bruiser. He's a very good running back. He had over 100 yards against Georgia Southern last week, but again, a bad team that they should have beat. And wide receiver Marcus Washington and wide receiver Trey Palmer. Trey Palmer is more of a do-it-all guy. Marcus Washington is more of a deep threat. Trey Palmer is too, but they're both very good wide receivers. They got a talented team. Again, this is why Scott Frost is gone. Nebraska has talent. Nebraska has tons of talent on the team, and they should not be losing the games that they have under his tenure. That's why he's no longer the coach. They have talent. On the defensive side, defensive back Isaac Gifford and defensive lineman Stephon Wynn Jr., both solid defensive players, but they didn't do a good job last week, obviously, against Georgia Southern, but they can play. O'Shawn Mathis as well, defensive end. He's a transfer. They have talent on this team. Nebraska is a talented team. Now, does Nebraska have more talent than Oklahoma? No, I don't think Oklahoma, even losing all the players that they did to the transfer portal, a lot of them going to follow Lincoln Riley and elsewhere, that they lost talent, but they still have a lot of talent. And Oklahoma probably is more talented than Nebraska. But this game is at Nebraska, and this is Brent Venables' first test as a head coach. Again, if Scott Frost was coaching for Nebraska, I would probably have Nebraska probably losing by 1 score, because that's what always happen. Unfortunately, I don't know. I can't make a assumption on Mickey Joseph and how good he's going to be. And I know that a lot of teams do rally and fight when their coach is gone. A lot of the times they try to rally together and do something and, surprise people. And this is a rivalry that they used to be in the Big 12. But I just do not see Nebraska getting this done. The home crowd is going to be unbelievable because Nebraska always, their fans are always there no matter what. They've been through bad times, but they still always show up. But I have Oklahoma winning this game. I just think Oklahoma's going to win. Probably like 38-24. I think Nebraska's going to keep it close, but Oklahoma will pull away. If Lincoln Riley was still that coach, I would probably have him winning by more, but Brent Venables, we don't know how good he's going to be. And I really want to pick Nebraska, but I just do not see Nebraska win this game. Nebraska could win. We don't know. Again, Mickey Joseph could rally this team together and get them to a win, but I have Oklahoma winning 38-24. Subscribe to the channel for more sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below what you think about this game, whether Oklahoma is going to win or if Nebraska is going to surprise people with a new interim coach and get the win. And I will see you next time.